All right, let's try that again. Welcome everyone. Please bear with me while I deal with some of the technical issues because I am doing something a little bit differently tonight. I am doing streaming to 3 different platforms. I am streaming on YouTube, I am streaming on Facebook Live, and I am also streaming on Twitch. So please make sure that everything is working. And first of all, my chat thing doesn't seem to be working, so I'm refreshing that. And I am also just going to pull up my thing and make sure that everything is working properly. Everything seems to be okay here. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing the chat on my iPad, so I'm just gonna restart the web browser and see if that helps. Although it seems to be struggling a little bit. So yeah, we'll just keep talking, but is the sound back on? Is the sound on the way that it should be? Please let me know. Hopefully it is. Things may just be a little bit more complicated than normal because I am streaming to 3 different places at the same time, and I've never done this before, so I'm not quite sure, you know, how everything is going to work quite right. Now, I will ditch the other streaming services if YouTube is not working properly doing this, but as long as YouTube is okay, then I think we should be okay. I am just pulling up. I'm just trying to get my... yeah, I'm going to restart my iPad because my iPad is what has... where I can see all the sources of comments coming in, but I do have my YouTube stream page open here, so I can see the chat there. So Skull says, hi Andrew, no sound. Hagen Miller says, hey there, no, not hearing your audio. And then Hagen says, there we go. And Skull says, great sound. So that is great to know that at least the sound is coming through the way that it is supposed to. But yeah, why don't we just, I'm going to just talk a little bit while at the same time I get this stuff sorted. I suppose I could view the chat on my main screen here. That should just pop it open. Okay, I can see it on here. So we should be good to go. I'll just read it off of my big main screen if my iPad is not going to cooperate. Hopefully it does, though. Although it might be easier to do it on the big screen. I'm not sure. But I'm going to check and just see if this does any better. No, this is not connecting to the interwebs. There should be absolutely no problem with it connecting. Oh, my camera went away there for a brief moment. Not sure what happened there, but it came back on. I'm just going to test this, make sure it comes up on screen. Skull says, sounds great. It came up on screen the way that it's supposed to. I'm happy with that. All right, so as per normal, we're going to be working on probably primarily the Enterprise D project. And the 650 scale Helios Enterprise D, which Hagen is also working on, which is great. I don't know how much he's been working on the armature of his kit, and what he's been doing looks really good. I'm seeing what Phil over at Sprueverse is doing with his armature. It's looking pretty decent. Yeah, I am just looking to see what's going on there. I have a viewer on Twitch. Wow, that's actually absolutely amazing because I have never streamed on Twitch before. So that's pretty cool. And I should be able to see exactly which chat which platform chat is coming through on. Now I haven't checked Facebook yet to see if, excuse me, to see if Facebook is doing what it's supposed to do. I have found that Facebook Live is, oh, apparently Facebook Live is up and running. That's 3 for 3 apparently. So if that's 3 for 3, and I'm just checking over here on my iPad to see if my live stream is working properly. And yeah, looks like it's going okay. So so far, I mean, apart from not being able to pull the chat up on my iPad, which is just kind of a secondary type of thing, everything seems to be going okay. So I will just monitor the chat on the screen that I have in front of me, and we will go with that. Apparently, my voice and my voice and my chat, my voice and my video are apparently off a little bit now. So, oh, I need to make an adjustment with my with another camera that you can't quite see yet. Something happened to it as well. But I'm going to switch over to the... Oh, audio and video sync seem okay to you? Okay, great. Then I'm not gonna mess with it. It may have just been a brief latency new because this camera is actually broadcasting to my streaming software wirelessly via a new application that I just recently discovered. It's an online browser-to-browser video transfer service called VDO Ninja. And it's allowed me to use 2 iPhones for streaming. I've got a iPhone that is looking down from above here, and then my face cam is my good iPhone, my current everyday iPhone. So the one up here is my old iPhone 11, and this one is my current iPhone 15. So I mean, I need the phones anyway, so why not make use of the cameras that are on rather than spending lots of money for cameras? All right, and Skull says that I'm okay now. All right, and then Marshall Barber says, where do I buy it? If you are referring to the 650 scale Enterprise D, that is from Helios Models and Sound. I do not know if they are going to be making any more runs. Possibly, if there's enough interest, they may do that. But they don't have anything on the docket right now that I'm aware of. But it would be well worth your time to just send them an email through their website or send them a Facebook message through Facebook Messenger saying that if they were to do a 4th run of the kit that you would be interested in it. That way they know if there is enough interest to run another run of the kit. And I would love them to do another run of the kit with some minor changes and upgrades. But long enough out that I get some of these other projects off the bench so I can afford to get a copy of the kit for myself. That would be wonderful. So, all right, and now the update on one of my goals. Hopefully, you'll be seeing less of me around. Not that I'm going to be making any fewer videos. Not that you're going to be seeing less live streams, but I'm really working hard right now to lose a bunch of weight. I am about, right now, I have been, as of last week, I was the heaviest I'd ever been in my life, and I'm roughly about 50 pounds over what I should be for my height. So my goal is 50 pounds, bring me back into the healthy range, which is really good because I've got some kidney condition things going on, and losing that extra weight keeps the blood pressure under control, which makes my kidneys happy. So I started working on that with dietary changes a week ago. So I measured myself last week, and so week 1 update, I have lost 3 pounds. So we are 3 out of 50 currently. So that's the update on that front, and hopefully that is going to continue to go well. Although I was looking at what I eat and what I eat a lot of, that could be contributing to the fact that I always carry extra. And I realized that my main go-to for snacking, my main go-to for food if I'm in a hurry or if I want something quick or anything like that, is very carb heavy. So I am very much limiting my carbs. And I was out to breakfast today and to a restaurant, and they have like really good breakfast potatoes, and I didn't even want them on my plate, because if they were on my plate I would have eaten them, so I asked them to remove it. So but I'm hoping that I continue to see that downward trend. That's what I'm hoping for. So with all that intro kind of welcome stuff wrapped up, let's get into the model building. I'm going to switch over a few things here. I'm going to switch over to the bench view. I might need to make a quick modification here so that you see the maximum amount of desk as possible there. All right, doing another quick live adjustment because something got messed up and it wasn't quite right. But there we go. I think that's a little bit better now. Let's get my... That's not right. Let's get my face in the corner there. And we will get right at it. Let me check in with the chat for a moment. Marshall Barber says, can you send me a link? Just search Helios Lighting and Sound in Google. That'll bring up their website. And just search Helios Lighting and Sound on Facebook if you want to contact them through their Facebook, through Facebook Messenger. That's the easiest and quickest way for you to get that information at this time. That would be the easiest thing at the moment. Hagen says they are in full swing with their Enterprise B Excelsior kit at the moment. I would love to get a 350 copy of that in either the Excelsior or the Enterprise B. It looks like they learned a lot of lessons from... Here, I'm going to switch back to face here for a moment. I think that they learned a lot from what they did with the Enterprise D, and I can tell that they've implemented what they've learned into this new kit. It's a full metal armature. Looks like there's more parts to put together. It just looks like it is a little bit of a more thought through, time taken adventure, again probably based on what they've learned from doing the Enterprise D kits. So yeah, and then we've got Ian's popped in saying hi everyone, and just some general greetings. So let's see what I want to work on tonight. I haven't really given a lot of thought to it, but I think I need... let's see. Hagen has something else here to say. He says, I think Helios even used printed aluminum for the nacelle pylons too. I saw that. And that would... I don't know how much weight it adds, but that would probably be something interesting for many more applications. So yeah, the lower section of the pylon assembly was certainly a metal piece, and wouldn't be surprised if it was printed aluminum. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense for what I saw. Looks really good. I would love to get a copy of the kit. I just need to get some of these projects out the door so that they're paid for before I spend a whole lot more money to get some more stuff. So let's see what we're going to work on tonight. Let me grab some parts. All right. So, I think the first thing I need to do tonight And I'm going to switch over to the desk cam. First thing I need to do tonight, besides keeping an eye on the chat, because that's going to be super important, I need to check all of the windows here and see if there are any that need to be replaced. Also, actually, you know what? I'm going to show you something. Now, it's going to be in my next update video. Well, probably my next update video. But I'm going to go ahead and give the live stream just some spoilerage here. So I got this in the mail this week. Came from the great state of Tennessee. And seems to have done a journey through the better part of the eastern seaboard. And let me see if I can get the parts here. There's 2 of everything, so I just need 1 of everything to show you here. And let me get this assembled, and I will do an up-close cam of it here for you. But let me get this kind of assembled first. Yeah, some of the guys know exactly what we're looking at. I'm sure you can't quite see it yet from so far away from the camera. I'm going to kind of place it in, and I'm going to bring it up to the camera so you can get a really good look at that. This is the bridge and conference room module from Spaceways on Shapeways. May they rest in peace. And this was painted by Donnie Daughtry over at Don's modeling desk. And he offered to paint these up for me. I've got to say, this was something that I was very, how shall I say it, intimidated to paint. Because I do not have the, I did not have the, well, I do not have the experience painting teeny weeny things like this. And really, you need something for scale here. So, let me go get something that's very rare. If I can find it. Oh, it's over here. So, for the Americans who are on the stream, this is a Canadian penny. Canadian pennies are no longer in circulation because our government decided to get rid of them. Because they were more expense than they were worth. But for the Americans watching, they are the same size as your US pennies. So this should give you a good indication of the size of this thing. So I'll bring it up to the camera again. Keeping it in frame is a bit of a challenge. But there you go. There you go. And that conference room, I don't know if I can get the light to just bounce it off of it the right way there. But that conference room table is glossy. Just like it is the black glass top table from the actual show. So that is looking so good, and that's going to look really, really good with that solar res glass that I came up with to go in those observation lounge windows. And actually, you know what? I can probably I think I might actually produce some solar res glass tonight. That actually might be a really good thing to do on stream. So if you're interested in the solar res glass, then this would be good to watch what I'm doing it, because you'll be able to see me working on it in real time. I had done some solar res glass for this. This is saucer 2 of 2, and it does not have the solar res glass inside. I'm just going to put the bridge off to the side. Turn this over. This does not have the solar res glass in there at the moment. The 1 of 2 does, but 2 of 2 does not. I've got them numbered now so I don't lose track. 2 of 2 does not have it in. I did it as a demo on this saucer for the update video showing how it was done, but that was just temporary because I wanted to get the primer on the outside of this thing without any worry about having to mask those off right now, because I think I'm going to use some silicone plugs to do that. Now I should probably create a second set of silicone plugs. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So I have these. Basically, it's just silicone that was molded to the windows, and they are the exact shape of the windows, and I am probably going to use these as inserts for masking so that I don't have to worry about taping off the solar res glass on those windows. I'm just thinking that that's going to be a little bit easier for me to deal with. But now that I think about it, let me just check something. I don't think that I actually did a separate... I'm just going to run to my channel here for a moment. I don't think I did a separate solar res glass tutorial. So what I might do is I might not... maybe I won't do this tonight, because I may want to produce a solar res glass, like a separate video that's a solar res glass tutorial. Leave a comment down below if you think that I should make a separate solar res glass tutorial. Let's see. I need to catch up on the chat here. Todd says that glossy conference room table, yeah, that turned out really, really well. Ian says, did Donnie add the extra wedge of carpet under the helm? You mean the one that was present there in First Contact? No, in Encounter at Farpoint? I have no idea why that was there, unless they had some wires that they were trying to cover if they didn't quite place those things, because those consoles were movable. They took them in and out for filming reasons, and I wonder if they just didn't get them back in the right spot and there were some wires and they threw that down to cover it, expecting that nobody would ever notice it in standard definition. Barry Steinleg, I'm going to say Barry, thank you. I don't want to butcher anybody's name, so I'm going to say Barry says, how large is it? It is 650 scale, and let's see, the saucer itself measures, because I've got some measurements on my desk. It's currently in freedom units, and it's just a bit over 27 inches wide. So so that should give you a bit of an idea. It's about 3 feet long when fully assembled. Let's see. Hagen says, yeah, it's not easy. Completed mine recently, and it was a real workout. Yeah, you got really good results there, Hagen, on your conference room and bridge. Really quite impressive. It's really it's when people can do that kind of really fine, detailed work. It's pretty amazing. I just don't have the experience on it, so getting somebody who has that experience and has that skill to work on the project with me on it was was really good to have. Ian says, what about the conference room wall? I will show you just the conference room wall and how that turned out. There's the wall. There's the Enterprise wall. Now, we're going with the Generations, so disclaimer, we're going with the Generations exterior paint job and all of that, but this is season 1 and 2 wall back here. This is the older style. I'm not sure if they kept a wall for season 3, but they changed it after Star Trek 6 used the conference room for the dining hall and then blew a lot of the set up. So they changed it over at that point. Let's see. Yavang is here. Yavang said, sorry, I just popped in. How did you paint that? I did not. That was painted by Donnie Daughtry over at Don's Modeling Desk. Go check that out. And he offered to paint those up, and I was quite happy to pass it on to somebody who has the experience painting things that tiny. I don't know how he managed to do that. He was doing it on a live stream, so I could see it coming along, but it's like magic and mystery. I have no idea. Teeny tiny brushes and large magnification glasses. That's my guess. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know those things. Ian says, I think the console was wobbly, but I could be wrong. Well, I mean, it was wobbly, but it was also not bolted down or permanently secured down because they could take it in and out. Because sometimes they had to put the camera where the console was. Now, there's one thing that I'm actually really, really curious about. I don't know if anybody knows the answer. I really want to ask somebody at some point. I guess it would probably need to be set designers or some of the directors or whatever. I mean, if I ever see Jonathan Frakes, I'll ask him. But what I've always wondered is the back wall of the bridge where the consoles are, where you've got like mission ops, you've got the engineering on the one side. Sometimes they've done shots where the camera is back there looking out at the person who's at the console doing the work. And I've always wondered if those consoles were designed to be wild and could be moved out so they could put a camera back there, or did they actually just squeeze those large cameras back then in that space to get those shots? I'm really curious how they did that. So if anybody knows, let me know, because that's something I want an answer to. And yeah, Donnie absolutely killed it. He absolutely killed it on those parts. So here, I'll show you the individual parts without the walls attached so that you get a clearer look at what he did. Let me just switch back here. There you go. Yeah, and that table certainly is glossy. I'm not sure that... Oh. The penny was sliding around. I'm not sure that I'm going to get a real angle with the light here where you can see just the gloss on that table, but it looks really, really good. So, yeah, those are the parts without the walls on there. And, yeah, and he did that 2 times over for me because I've got the 2 kits to work on. I guess I'll give you a bit of a update on what's going on with the project right now. I've been spending the last week really considering my options with the mount for the Armature and that whole thing. I really like what Hagen has done with his. I might upgrade mine and do something a little similar. I will have to make more modifications to it. The first kit is going to be, it'll be solid. So the first of the one of 2 will be absolutely solid, no problem, no worries there. But it's the one that seems to, that's taking the multiple iterations, because I am having to just figure this thing out as I go, because there are no instructions, and it's kind of curious. Everybody's doing it a little bit differently, which is great. I don't know if you saw Lou's latest update yesterday. He's taking the approach that John over at Captain's Dry Dock did on his 1400 scale with the phaser, where he's he's folded in the LED strip so that he can kind of get it to bend laterally around the curve. I would really be curious to see what that looks like in person, because at least on camera, it looked like the hot spots for those LEDs were quite pronounced. That's one reason why I like to put it on the side, so that it's diffused a bit before it gets through the entire like phaser strip assembly. But I'd be really curious to see, because I know cameras always blow out the LEDs, and hotspots are always much more prevalent on camera on YouTube than they are in real life. So I'd be really curious to see what that looks like in person, just to see what it... Todd may have an answer for me. Let's see. The rear consoles were not wild. The space behind the arch was specifically wide enough to fit a Marshall dolly. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So the set was designed specifically so that they could get one of the cameras, because those cameras were huge back then, right? I mean, it would be just a simple thing today to do that, if they were using a Red or something like that. But yeah, okay, that's interesting. I was always curious, because I just know how big those cameras are, and how small that space is, relatively speaking. So let's see. And then he said, Todd also says the L cars could be pulled out to get shots from the... Oh, they could? So the L cars could be pulled out to get shots from the display view. You see, that's what I was wondering. So you've got the L cars panel that they use for touching and stuff like that, and then you've got the back wall L cars. And I was always wondering if the back wall L cars could be removed so that you'd get that camera kind of looking at the actor over here, right? That's what I was always wondering, and that's what I was kind of wondering if that was the case. So the Panavision back then, let me just grab this here. The Panavision back then were not that much bigger than typical ENG type cams of the time. The lens, however, are still big even today. Yeah. So Todd, are you saying that the back wall L cars could move so that they could then get a camera in? Just waiting for that confirmation, because that's really what I want to know. Oh, we've got Danny here. Danny here in the chat. Welcome, Danny. What's going on here? Well, I'm asking some questions about the set, and we were looking at the bridge and conference room module. Since you're here and you may not have seen this yet, I will show you. I'll switch back over to this view. Yeah, so I was showing this off. Oh, you can get a little bit of reflection there off the conference room desk. That shows you just how glossy that is. Oh, I was looking at Todd's comment there, not keeping that in view. So this was done. This was painted by Donnie Daughtry over at Don's modeling desk. He was very kind to do both of these for me. He's much more experienced doing the teeny tiny stuff than I am, so I was quite happy to have somebody who knew what they were doing dealing with those, because it is they are very, very, very tiny. So Todd says each L-car section was screwed to the wall. They would be removed as needed for a forward-looking shot. Okay, thank you. That answers my question. That's what I was always wondering, and I have not found that information anywhere. So I thought maybe I'd have to... Okay, I just got distracted by a comment there. I always figured I'd have to ask somebody who was actually working on the set to find that answers. Let's see. Trey Chester, welcome. Very nice bridging conference room. Yeah, Donnie did an amazing job working on those, and he did it twice. He did it twice for me, because I've got the two kits that I'm working on. And Danny says, Andrew, have you ever thought about putting micro cameras in those interiors? Would be cool to have that with some kind of interface connected. Oh my good gravy. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. At some point, I'd love to get some micro screens involved. Wouldn't it be great to get a micro screen installed into the Bizarre collectors of the Enterprise E and play video of the plasma effect in the Bizarre collectors? I think that would be a really cool thing. But micro cameras, yeah, I'm not going there. But power to you if you want to do it. If you want to get a big kit and put them in, definitely power to you there. So, but not going to be happening on these kits. All right, let's make some solar res glass. I'm not going to do the solar res glass on the bridge, like I said, but let me get some one of the bottom sections. All right. This is bottom section. And let's see, this is, I think this is one of two. Yeah, this is number 1. It's the one that needed a lot more work done on the dormer windows to get all the gaps sealed up. Let's see. Danny says, yeah, it would be cool, but the micro screens would not be curved. Yeah, but if the contrast on the screens was high enough, like you'd be looking to get the moving plasma effect via that, so you'd still have some diffusion in there. So you wouldn't necessarily be, or at least this is my thought because I've never done it, but my thought is that you would have it doing like a splotchy red, black, yellowy kind of pattern, and that would be what you sort of see through a lightly diffused lens. And so it wouldn't have to be curved as long as we could keep it close enough to the lens. You can't do that with an Arduino. Would have to be a Pi. Yeah, probably. I have no idea how to do it. It was just a thought I had to put that into an Enterprise D at some point. So, although some guys have done some really good Bizarre effects. Hagen did a really good Bizarre effect on his Enterprise E, his 650 scale Enterprise E. Looks really good. But you know, my mind is always just looking to see how can I do it better? How can I kind of like push the envelope on the model building type of stuff? But Danny says, yeah, it can be done. And Danny would know. All right. So I have thought that I would use solar res glass as the glass for these dormer windows, especially since there are a number of larger ones here. And so what I'll do is I will make sheets of solar res glass to mount on the back of these. That's going to come in very handy for these ones because they would be very awkward to fill. And I like the idea of keeping the recess there. I'm not sure if that is what it's supposed to look like, and I suppose I probably should check that out before I actually do that. Todd says, in truth, a non-structural component of a set can be wild. Even the side panels of the bridge that started out carpeted were installed from behind. Yeah. Making the sets as wild, like making as many wild sets as you can, definitely opens up your opportunities for filming. It was interesting how, on a side note, but I'm going to look at his next comment here. It was not easy to shoot from behind the rear consoles as the bridge set was located so close to the soundstage walls. Yeah, that's actually one of the reasons why I wondered, because I know that it was located so close to the wall, but I also know that there was enough space that when they walk out the bridge to the conference room, that there was enough space for them to disappear around the corner. I assume that there wasn't much space for them to exit there, but it would have been just so cool if they could have built the conference room attached, like the set for the conference room attached to the set for the bridge, and you would have gotten that camera shot walking through from one to the other. That would have been really, really cool. It's just too bad that they didn't do that when they built the sets. I have a pic I could send you that show. Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, because I can't find anything. It's been one of those things that I've always wondered about and just never really had an answer to. So thank you. That would be awesome. All right, I need to check out some Enterprise D pictures. Let me just see here. Don't mind me while I am looking up reference photos on my computer. Computer? Hello, computer. Okay, I'm looking at saucer details, and I'm looking for a good picture of the underside of the front, and there's a few here. Okay. I just moved something I don't want to move. Okay, well, based on what I'm seeing here, it looks like they were probably flush to the window frames. I will show you this. I just pop it quickly into my streaming software and fade over. So I am looking at the four front panels here, which are the saucer deflector array. Let me see if I can make this bigger here. So it looks like the transparent is right up close. So, you know what? I think I may actually need to fill it with solar res rather than yeah, just looking at that, I think I'm gonna need to fill that with solar res so that it fills right up to the frame rather than doing it to the back, because that would leave, let me see if I can show you here. That would leave quite an inside. You might be able to see it better from here. That would leave, if I put solar res glass flat on there, that would leave quite the area inside where the windows would be far recessed, and it doesn't look like they're recessed like that on the studio model. So I may need to rethink my plan on that and simply fill these with no. Sorry, this is me thinking live. It's just me thinking live about the best way to approach this. Let me see what the... all right. Is Hagen still in the chat? Because he's got this kit. Todd sent that to me in Discord. Thank you, Todd. I will look at that after the after the stream. I will have a look at that. Is Hagen Miller still in the chat? If so, let me know, because I wouldn't mind bouncing the idea off ya. While I wait for Hagen to respond, I am just seeing what's going on with the other streaming services. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much getting no viewership on the others, but it might be a cool way for me to get some new people to my channel. So I'm definitely worth probably pursuing that. All right. Okay, Hagen, you're here. Perfect. So let me talk through this with you for a moment. It would almost, yeah. If I thought about this early, maybe I would have just got you to video into the stream so we could actually chat. But we can work through the chat. So on the lower saucer, my original plan was to back these with Solarez glass. That way I could put a sheet of Solarez glass cut and fitted perfectly to go to the inside of these dormers. The issue I am thinking is especially on the four. Oh, I'm not switched over to the bench. Sorry, I need to be over here. First time I've done that tonight, I think. So yeah, I was thinking about putting Solarez glass backing on these. It's not that's not too bad for most of these, but the deflector, the 4-panel deflector section has some quite recessed areas in the back there. Oh, you also sent me a close-up of that array on Facebook Messenger. It does appear flush, yeah. So yeah, I can see that I've got that that message through. Thank you. Oh, and Buck is here. Welcome, Buck, to the chat. So if I put my finger back there to give a little bit of color, you can see just how deep that is. The problem is, if I put tape on the front here and I backfill with Solarez, I'm gonna have to be so careful about bubbles, because I can't fill from the front and scrape like I did on the others because of the way that this is designed. So I'm wondering, what way do you think is better to do this? Do you think it's going to be better to put the Solarez glass in behind, or is it going to be better to backfill with Solarez from behind and just work really hard to make sure that there are absolutely zero bubbles in that? Curious what you think. And Danny says to Hagen, you need a YouTube channel as well. Yes. I think we were having that Hagen and I were having that conversation where he needs to have a YouTube channel and chronicle his builds, because he does some really good work with some really cool kits. Like, he's going to be doing this. He did the 650 Enterprise D. He's getting the he's looking at getting the Helios Excelsior or B. I'm not sure which one he's planning on getting, but that would be really good content to have on a live stream, or YouTube videos, whichever. I said live stream because I'm live streaming right now, but you had to have a video series of Hagen building that would be really cool. But yeah, I'm really curious what you think. He's probably gone to look at his own kit there just to kind of get an idea. I think the Solarez glass is going to be a little easier for the remaining dormers. Yeah, and Todd agrees. All the windows and that saucer deflector were flush with the hull. Yeah. These dormer windows are so thin, I don't think it's going to matter. And it's going to make life a lot easier if I back those. But I'm thinking I'm just going to have to embrace the pain and backfill those so that they come up flush there. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. This is a decision-making stream, apparently. So, yeah, that might be the way that we have to go. I'm just waiting for Hagen to chime in here too, see what he says. And if anybody else has a suggestion, let me know. I've put it out there to see what y'all say. And Ken is here. Welcome, Ken. Welcome, welcome. It is almost an hour in, and I've literally done no constructive work yet because I've been just talking and kind of deciding what to do. Todd says I tape mine from the front and filled from the rear. Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably the way that I'm going to have to go. Probably. Denny says, I have a suggestion. And it looks like his suggestion is for Hagen to start a YouTube channel. Let's see. Todd also says, the bigger the window, the easier to pick out bubbles. Yeah, suppose. Hagen says, I think better to fill it and just have to contend with the bubbles. Wonder if 2 or 3 thin separate files might mitigate that a bit and end up being more effort. Just the way that they're recessed in the dormer window, I'm just thinking I don't want to have to deal with them from the outside. Hagen said, mentally evaluating if I have enough time for a YouTube channel. Yeah, I think you would do very well. I think that you would do very well with it. So if you're thinking about it, you know, if you try it and you find that it doesn't work out for you, then you just don't continue it. But could be worth giving a try. All right, and being that you're moderator on like Starship, Star Trek Modelers Group or whatever it's called, you're well known enough that you'll probably get a good base of subscribers right off the bat. Let's see. Danny said, I had to go through that as well, Hagen, and decided not to, but hey, I hope your decision will be different. Yeah, I think that would be really cool. And then there's an opportunity for collaborations and stuff like that on YouTube, so. All right. So, I am not going to make the Solaris glass. At least not right now. Because I will probably fill that in with Solaris itself, and I am not going to do that on stream. Okay, interesting. Twitch is telling me that my stream is unstable. The average stream bitrate is too high. Interesting. How is Facebook Live doing? Facebook Live is still going. I doubt anybody's actually watching it, but Facebook Live is going. Yeah. Just thought I would multi-stream since I have the capability to multi-stream, and see if I can pick up some additional viewership to my channel that way. Danny said, Andrew tried to get me to start a YouTube channel so many times. Cannot handle a 4th job. Yeah, life gets busy. Life absolutely does get busy. All right, well, let's see. Since it is a stream, it seems it's turned into that, where I'm kind of working through problems and making decisions on stream. Let me go get something else that I have to make some decisions about pretty soon. The infamous supports. Hagen says, I think my issue is more how to set something up in my workspace, which is really just a tiny corner of my basement with few power outlets and no shelving, but could be doable. Yeah, I mean, for video, I just have a camera, a microphone, and I record everything locally, and then I dump it into my editing software. And um, yeah, so I just set up the camera as needed. I make use of the workspace as my background, and so if you, as long as you have enough space to do that, that is awesome. Um, I just had something strange pop up on my streaming software. I'm wondering if it's something I did or if there's something going on one of the other streaming platforms or something. Let me just check that quickly. Nope, must have been something I did. I don't know. Very strange. Let's see. Danny says, have you seen Lou's work area? Lou's work area is pretty tight. And Hagen says, yeah, it's bigger than mine. If you have multiple phones with good cameras, there is now a platform online where you can just connect your phones to and directly stream to all platforms, no local software. Danny, that's exactly what I'm doing with this camera. Are you talking about Video Ninja? I'm using Video Ninja on this. Gives me some good low latency wireless streaming, and I can put as many of these cameras into my streaming software as I want to. The camera up here is hardwired into, like, the phone up here is hardwired into my laptop using a different program. The problem I had with this was it could only handle one iPhone. So being able to use Video Ninja, Video Ninja is what Jordan and I used to troll the guys on the HTM stream last night. It's just a little bit too bad that for some reason his audio was not coming through properly, because he was saying, because he was supposed to come in, once you guys noticed that something was going on, he was supposed to say, oh no, wrong character, hold on, and then I would switch it and come in with my own camera. And so we were doing that via Video Ninja, where he's in Seattle, but he was sending me browser to browser his video and audio through to my streaming software, and I just set it up as a browser input. It's just too bad that his audio, for some reason, it looked like it was okay in my streaming software and stuff like that, so it should, all intents and purposes, it should have worked. But for some reason, it didn't with the audio. But I think it still worked out pretty well. So yeah, you can stream, you can send the video and audio browser to browser from anywhere in the world to anywhere in the world. The latency is really low, which is great. You just need a good connection, either through Wi-Fi or cellular or something like that. So as long as you've got the connection, then you can do the video. I think that this might come in handy at Wonderfest for doing some remote video stuff with people. So where it can be streaming to a computer somewhere, but you're remote with the camera, and you don't even need to be in the same room or on the same network. That's one of the issues with the software I was using with the Up camera here. I could do wireless with that. I don't have to have it plugged in, but it has to be on the same wireless network. Whereas with Video Ninja, I don't. It doesn't have to be on the same network. It doesn't have to be in the same building. It doesn't have to be in the same country. It doesn't have to be on the same side of the planet. As long as it's got an internet connection, you can do it no problem. So I could have my video guy up in the hotel room handling the stream side of things, and I could be down chatting with people live. And we could do like some sort of live stream that way, chatting through this. Danny asks, what cameras are you using? I am using iPhones right now for both. I'm using my old iPhone 11 for the Up camera, and I'm using my current iPhone 15, my everyday phone, for my face cam right now, which works a lot better than the Sony NXVG10 that I was using for face cam before. It was an HD camera, 1080, but it was also from like 2011, so just not quite as good as the cameras that I have even just on my phones now. And it handles a lot of the stuff automatically for live streams and stuff like that I don't want to just have to physically deal with on a live stream where I have to deal with them manually and kind of pay attention. All right, armatures. Armature time. So my current solution, which is probably going to change, is to have the brass tube running through here. It runs, let me just look in the light here, it runs to about here, then bends over here, and only goes to about here, but that was meant to give the arm a little bit of extra support. I am thinking that I do actually need to put some metal support in, or some sort of support, a little bit more support into the saucer perhaps, although this does go into the saucer, but I'm wondering if I need to spew out a little bit there. I did a ring of copper tube or a brass tube inside the Shoko D saucer because I wanted that to be super secure. Yeah, so I may need to re-look at this. I would love to get a little bit of a closer look at what Hagen is doing with his. Hagen, are you doing anything right now, or are you just literally watching the stream? I'm going to wait. The 7-second delay. Trey says Phil and Lou designed a steel base for theirs. It's very nice and strong. Yeah, definitely probably over-engineered, but I mean, over-engineering for these things is never a bad idea. So I've been going back and forth on this the whole time. I don't know why. Well, no, do you have a phone with a camera on it? And is it connected to the internet? Because I would love to actually see what you've done there. A little more up close and personal. I'm going to switch back to face cam view here for a moment. Oh, why, yes, I do. Okay. Do you mind coming on the stream? With your arm setup available to show? Danny says, if anybody would ever do a McKinley station for this D, I would be blown away. You know what? That's something that you could do after you've built the model. So that's an addition that could be made pretty much at any time. And I'm sure somebody could probably scratch build that. That would be cool. That would be cool. You'll head down to your... Hagen says, not at all. I'll head down to my dungeon. All right. When you get there, I'll walk you through the process of hooking up your camera to my streaming software. We will do this live, everybody. We will do this live. And hopefully it works. It's really cool. I need to get my... I need to get my keyboard out. And while we wait for Hagen... yeah, so I didn't realize. I mean, I should have realized because it's not that heavy. But I originally thought this was solid. And it's not. It's hollow. So when I started out assuming I was going to use the resin printed arm for the support, I was assuming that it is solid. Now, I could do a couple of different things. I could punch a hole in the top here and backfill this whole thing with resin to secure that up. I could put the metal, I could leave this tube the way it is and then backfill the whole thing and fill it with resin. that would give some extra metal support to support the arm, and that would also make the resin arm much more secure and solid. But that would not give me the added support of something stretching out side to side in the model. So, no, I didn't do. I thought about doing a ring in the Don Choco one, but what I did was I brought it to a copper T. I brought it to a copper T and just had an arm going out. Let's see. Danny says, yeah, I think there is a really detailed print available for that station. You would just need to scale it up and spend the money to print it. Yeah. That would be really cool if somebody was able to do that. Filling it with resin, wouldn't that make it super heavy? What's going to make it heavier? Putting metal in or backfilling it with resin? I'm not sure which is going to make it heavier. Okay, so, and that's a very good point. One of the reasons why I was originally shying away from putting a metal armature in this thing when this resin arm was available is because one of two is going over to Belgium. So weight is a factor, and weight is a factor for shipping costs. Okay, Hagen. So you are at the Video Ninja web portal perfectly. So choose the add camera to. Now, are you on that on your? I'm assuming you're on that on your phone, right? So add camera to OBS. You're gonna see. If you want to be able to talk, then add your microphone. Like, make sure your microphone is enabled. Add the front or back camera, whichever one you want to use, whichever is going to be most convenient for you. And then once you've got that set up, click Start. There's going to be a green link on the top of your screen. And I need you to send me the, probably through Facebook Messenger, just send me the link that it generates for you there. And really, I just need the gobbledygook after the equal sign, really. So phone, unless you've got a camera you can either well position or move that's connected to your computer, because you could do it that way too. Doesn't matter. Whichever is going to be easiest for you. I'm kind of just excited to try this out live, and hopefully the audio works properly too. Let's see. While I'm waiting for Hagen, and he just sent that to me. Okay. Okay, I'm plopping it in here. All right, let's try this out. I'm going to turn my, well, I'll leave my face on so you can see me in the corner. And let's try this out. Oh, hey, Jordan. We're trying Video Ninja out here for a moment. All right, let me throw this in and see how it goes. You know what? Hagen, we might need to. I might need to send you my streaming software window back to you through Video Ninja so that we can actually talk in real time. Let me grab that.
All right. Is my audio coming through?
It's not letting me.
Hang on.
Oh, there we go.
Are you guys hearing me?
I need to set up an audio source. Sorry.
You my
Alright. I'm going to send you back a link, Hagen. And you can just open that link up in a browser. Oh, and we lost Hagen. We lost Hagen. Let's see if we can get this to work. Just messaging Hagen on Facebook. All right, I'm just going to go back here for the moment while I don't have them. I don't have Hagen here. Please bear with us. This is absolutely new to me, so trying to figure this out is brand new. Please stand by while we connect your long-distance call. To avoid this message, please dial 1 in front of a 10-digit long-distance number. Thank you. Please be advised that all unattended luggage will be removed and destroyed. Safety is everyone's responsibility. Please report any unattended luggage to an airport representative immediately. Oh, you guys heard him? Oh, you know what? I didn't hear him because I've got my speakers turned off for the stream. Okay. Okay, I did not hear that. So just oh well. Oh, he's sending me something here. He's typing me something. I think I joined your room with that. I don't have a room set up. Can we set up a room? Actually, that's not a bad idea. Let me... Sorry, did you join a room with the link I sent you? CS. Okay, I'm gonna send you a link to a room. Yeah, we can probably do that. I haven't played around with the rooms yet. Thank you for bearing with us. This is all brand new. And I'm gonna need to throw some headphones on. Okay. One small problem. Okay, I'm going to turn off my face cam. I'm going to fully turn it off here. And I'm going to... Oh, that actually did not help. That did not help me. Okay. Please stand by while we complete your long distance call. I have to add my camera back in because I completely closed it out. Which one is this? Are you getting doubling on the audio right now? Tell me if you're getting doubling. You are, probably. Okay, let me close that out. Let me add it again. I forgot to turn the audio off on it. I'm just going to have to manually turn off audio on that now. All right, because I'm going to take this camera off. I'm going to switch to the other camera. I'm going to join with this camera. Join with camera. No. Oh, I got it. I understand what's going on. Do I understand what's going on? Close. Okay. New technology, guys. New technology. Okay. I'm in. I'm in. Did you get the new link? So Hagen, click on the new link to join the new room. Let's see. I can't see you in mine. I'm gonna open it up again. Oh. Nope, that doesn't do it. Still looks like it's just me. I don't see you in here. I don't see you in here at all. Okay, well, You're not hearing or seeing me in real time, so it's confusing. All right, well, we will give that a pass right now, I guess. Yeah. Oh well. No problem. All right. It's the thing with doing it all live. All right. Let me quickly get caught up on. I'm gonna put this camera back in. Let's see. Add this camera input back into my streaming software. Flip the camera around. Find the camera. Bring the camera up where it's useful to me. Okay. Hanging me some pics to help. That's great. All right. Okay, so I've got this switched around. Get this back on the mount. Get this back up there. Reposition everything again. I should preview this so that it's bigger. I'm trying to deal with this on a little screen. There we go. All right. There we go. Much better. Trying to get my face back in. There we go. All right. We're back to normal operating procedures here. So, all right. I'm going to take a quick peek at the pictures that Hagen sent me. Let me throw the easiest way to do this. I should close that browser. Move this up here. I'm going to throw a quick screen capture up so you can see. All right. So these are the pictures that he sent me. So he's put a brass tube up and he's inserted another one so that he can hopefully take his saucer off and on of the stand, but that's what it looks like all together. And I'm so tempted to cut mine and feed a better kind of metal support through, and potentially one where then I can branch out and have some metal support going either direction just to hold that saucer up. So yeah, those are some decisions that I am making, or at least trying to make. I thought that the square brass tube would probably hold, and I may or may not have epoxied the brass tube in place. So I may have a challenging time getting that out, but I'm thinking I might need to cut mine as well, because getting any sort of, let me get my camera back up here for you. So getting any sort of post in and around this corner from either end is pretty much impossible. So I like what Hagen did and split that. It's got to give it a lot more free space to be able to get the posts in and out. I think that's the only way to get that in. So let me Hagen says, I think I could probably do it again. I just didn't know I was broadcasting yet. The live stream was off, but seems caught up now. But anyway, maybe next time we can if you're willing, we can give it another go, because I think it'd be great to be able to interact with that. So let me just quickly get caught up on the chat, and then let me get caught up on the chat. I won't bother putting it up all on screen. I'm just going to kind of go through it here. Buck says, I see you shiver with anticipation, I think is what he meant to say. Yeah, anticipation. If you join him, Hagen, you got to stop watching YouTube. The lag will make you crazy. Yeah. Just watch your local screen. Sorry, Rocky Horror Picture Show season. Hagen says, gotcha. So what I did was I sliced the arm. No reason to discard it, as the measurements are all good. Backfilled with epoxy resin with brass rod in there and made it telescopic. Ian says, in honor of Andrew's live stream, I just bought $170 of new USB chargers, cables, power banks, and UK mains adapters on Amazon. And he says I should buy stock in Anchor. And Todd says, Ian buys things even on other people's streams. Yeah. All right, I'm all caught up on the chat. So let's, if you're willing to, Hagen, let's try to do this again. So I'm going to start. So the links I sent you, they might be different. So I'm going to share my screen, share my window with you. So you should hopefully be able to... you should hopefully be able to hear me in real time. So let me just get this set up. Let's see. Share, select screen to share. I'm sending you my streaming software. No audio was detected, it says. Oh, audio output destination. Audio source is what I want. Okay. Please stand by while we complete your long distance call. Okay, I'm going to send you the link. This is going to be the new link. So this is going to be a link for you to monitor me in real time. I'm going to plug in headphones so then I can hear you because I have the speakers. Is there a headphone jack? Yeah. For monitoring issues, I've got the speakers turned off on my laptop. So if you can first open that in a browser and just make sure that you can hear me and see my screen. I mean, seeing my screen is not as important as being able to hear me. I'm just going to get my headphones plugged in here. Hopefully I can hear what's going on. I'm going to unmute so I can hear. Oh, let's actually get properly plugged in. All right, I can hear. Okay. I want to... hopefully I can hear what's going on. Let me know that you've got that. This is much easier in StreamYard. Maybe we should share. Yeah, I don't have StreamYard. So here is Hagen's link. Let me try this. Add input, web browser. It's only hard because it's new. All right, I've got that link, but okay, I've got you, and I'm turning audio on, and I'm gonna throw you in there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I can hear you just fine.
Hear you.
All right, let me check my audio then.
Hopefully the stream can hear.
Maybe. Let me see.
Oh. I can hear it for a moment.
I'm looking at my settings just to see if there's any other options.
Actually, I know what I'm going to do. I should have thought about this before.
It could be that the stream might be hearing me. If that's the case, then somebody pipe up in chat, please, because I closed YouTube, so I can't see.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay, I can hear you properly now. Yay!
Okay, cool.
I figured it out.
Yay, we did it!
We did a thing.
Okay, so I had to clear some space here. You want me to just walk you through what I did real quick?
Yeah,
or
that would
where
be,
do you want to start?
That would be great.
So this was plan B, which I did first. Plan A was I was going to try to actually just construct a whole armature. But I thought, the measurements on this are already a pretty much perfect fit. I don't want to get rid of it if I don't have to, because if I'm a millimeter off, then it's done. So realizing this was hollow, what I ended up doing was I chose to slice it here because that lines up pretty much perfectly with where like the neck ends up coming up here for the lower saucer. And I cut it diagonally because if you cut it horizontally like this is going to just spin on you.
Yeah.
So this keeps it from spinning. So I've got this is solid to solid rod. I think this is a 9mm. Yeah, I think this is 9mm solid rod. I have another one. It starts at about here and goes all the way down the back. It gets really tight in this area. And you'll notice like some of the shaping here is a little bit off. It's not uniform side to side. It gets a little tight in there, so I put it in there as far as I could, and it was actually hanging out the bottom. And then I have another rod that comes up, and you can kind of see the light shadow where it meets this one.
How did you?
This is an 11. This is just an 11 millimeter hollow rod, 1 millimeter wall, and they are just butted up right against each other. I didn't weld it or anything, but they're touching to the point where it's. Once I filled this all with epoxy, you know, if there's a small gap there, it's filled in. I mostly just wanted this to be able to handle the downward like radial force.
Yeah.
So that all got filled. That's partly why this is still here. I just hadn't peeled it off yet because I had to plug up where I drilled and inserted the tubes as much as I could. I got a little bit of epoxy leakage coming out, but it was so slow. It was like molasses. It didn't interfere with the curing of the epoxy at all.
What, when you were backfilling with resin?
Yeah. And by the time it was all solid, I just took my Dremel disc and just sliced it all off.
Okay.
And I did the same here. I kind of had it propped up with a system of clamps to make this level. So like the arm was kind of positioned funny, so that this was level for the epoxy. And it actually starts about right here. I had it level, but enough of it kind of leaked out the bottom that it sank in a bit. But you can kind of see it.
So
anyway,
so this is going to allow you to detach the saucer for travel.
Travel, but also just manipulating the thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna want to be able to, because I'm gonna want to be able to unscrew this, flip the thing over, and prop it up somehow so I can really get into the detail painting on the underneath side and the pylons. My goal is I want to do this similarly to how I've done other builds in the past, where I bring this whole star drive section to completion, and then the whole saucer to completion, and then they just lock together at the very end.
So what are you? How are you looking to, or have you may not have even thought this through yet? But how are you looking at attaching, like securing the saucer parts to the secondary hull parts? Are you going to use some physical fasteners that you can then remove to remove the saucer?
Yeah, maybe. I thought about maybe using, because really all it needs is, for the most part, saucer is going to be here. I'm probably going to have like an X kind of cross beam here, perhaps.
Yeah.
If I do the saucer right, the saucer is just going to kind of lock itself into that neck portion right here.
Okay. Maybe
And
a
for
little
the
bit of a
most
gasket.
part, yeah, like something like that. And I was thinking maybe magnets just to stabilize it.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure yet if I want to go with something mechanical, like some small pins, or where like maybe small enough that I could probably like lift the saucer a hair to detach the pins and then it slides out, or if I just want to go the magnet route with like a couple JST connectors about right here for the power.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think whether the saucer can come off or not, I think I'm going to need to slice my arm in half just to get the metal part, like the metal rod, in there.
Yeah, you probably do.
I don't think the square tube I put in goes far enough to really add the support that I want. So
yeah, and I started, you can see here, this is filled now. I started drilling into it, thinking I could maybe kind of feed some stuff in that way.
Yeah.
But then I realized it was just much easier to have everything kind of laying flat.
Well, and that, like even just the square tube that I've got going in there, getting it, even just the short bent section around this corner was a nightmare. So
yeah, that's rough. So that's why I kind of attacked it from two different angles, where I inserted this one from the bottom and then slid this one in as far as I could so that they would meet.
Mm-hmm.
And then just kind of, Hail Mary hoping, the resin fill would take care of some of the weakness there. Most of the leverage action is going to be transferring from here back here. Probably more than anything. A little bit of it's going to be taken care of because this butts right up against the interior neck.
Yeah. Somebody had a question about the weight of the arm by backfilling it. I think Danny had a question about that.
It didn't increase much when I weighed it. I think it was like 1.5 pounds
Okay.
with the rods.
So
And
definitely.
after so that's total.
So definitely worth backfilling it then.
Yeah, I think so. It didn't add a ton of weight, but it added enough mass that just filling it alone, even if you didn't do this and you managed to fill it like maybe, from underneath here, you're adding just by adding mass, you're adding support.
Yeah.
And this is just, to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. I did test this overnight with a brick.
Yeah, you said that.
And I sort of measured, because I do have a small gap here. I still have some material from these tubes I need to shave away. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure this focuses. But I thought, no, that's good because I measured it with my calipers and then stuck the brick on it overnight and then came back to it and it didn't move. But that's one night. We're talking about, this thing could be displayed for years. That might not be a great test, but it was a brick, I really only need to support, about 4 pounds. So if I stick this rock on it, it's actually probably going, actually it doesn't, I slid it forward accidentally doing that. So, that's the weight of the saucer. We're close to it. The rock from my backyard. That's the saucer.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, just a moment. I just went to check the chat. So they were just saying that your mic was loud, so I've lowered it in my streaming software. Sorry guys, I was paying attention to what Hagen was showing me, and I wasn't looking at the chat. But I've lowered it, so let me know if his audio is a bit better there.
It might actually be a little quiet now because I lowered my gain.
Actually, it sounds better. It sounds better in my ears. But let me go through the chat here, because so there's the we can hear you, the volume. Hagen is much louder. Danny says, Hagen, your workspace is now YouTube approved, so that starts that. So start that channel already.
Dust it off.
Let me see what else is happening here in the chat.
Now it's clean.
Besides the audio things, and Denny asks if adding that resin will not make it too heavy. Make it top heavy. I think if it's bolted down to, like, if everything's really secured down to the metal plate that's then attached, like attached well to that secondary hull, probably shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. For the time being, it's kind of ugly. I just have a couple of sheet metal screws in here for now, just because I wanted to test this. These go up to about here. These are like long sheet metal screws. I think I want one maybe coming down straight through here into the other side.
Yeah.
I would
have
pretty solid.
Yeah, I would have to put some bolts directly through, or something, tapping screws or something from the arm side now, because I've on 1 of 2. I'm calling these kits 1 of 2 and 2 of 2 now, because I've already got the metal plate secured down to. Well, let me grab.
Yeah, and for me, how this is attached, this is not finished. This is proof of concept for sure.
Yeah, because I've already got this part secured down. It's epoxied in place. It's bolted in place. So I can't get from underneath now. So I would have to go down from the top in, which shouldn't be too big of a deal. But so I did raise Hagen's. I did raise Hagen's volume again, so let me know if that sounds better now. I am not using OBS, and it's Hagen on the video, not Danny. Danny's in chat. Hagen dropped his gain. I had also lowered him, so I'm going to bring him up just a little bit now. Or Jordan was
If
saying
I
it's
can
good
raise mine a
now.
bit.
Well, let's just see because Jordan said it's good now. So
Okay.
let's keep going for a little bit. I'll keep an eye on the chat and see how that is. So
All right.
if you can say something and we'll see how the
Yeah.
levels are.
So anyway, that's where I've ended up for now, and I think it's going to work. I just want to make sure. I need to do a little more work on the actual attachment.
Yeah.
Thankfully, this stuff is not very tough to drill through with the bits I have,
Yeah.
so that shouldn't be a problem. And all I've done for fastening this is a 3/4 inch pipe just from the hardware store, and these are just pipe fastener. I do have one on the bottom. This means I have to grind out that little raised platform on the secondary hull piece
Yeah.
here. I'm gonna have to grind out a little bit of matching material, but I mean, it's not gonna be much, just so this fits in. And probably here too, in case I replace these with like some kind of nut.
Yeah. Well, my post is not going to be hard connected to the metal plate. It's going to go into the post hole and go all the way and be very snug in there as a pressure fit.
Yeah, I gotcha. No, I like that
Yeah.
idea. So you can take it out.
Yeah, because shipping these to the clients, they need to be able to. The post has to be able to come off.
Yeah, that's my thing with this. Is this will be a permanent attachment. The only way I can disconnect it will be from here, from the flange.
Yeah, but so
Which
I need
is
to be
fine.
Having to take the post out completely has made a big difference in how I approach doing this. Because if it was just going to be permanently here in my own shop or something like that, and I wasn't traveling with it, because 2 of 2 is also going to go to Wonderfest, so
Right. Yep.
it needs to travel for that as well. I'm going to be, which detachable saucer is actually kind of tempting to attempt having to send 1 of 2 to Belgium just for the ease of shipping. But
Yeah, because you could kind of layer that in the box.
Yeah, but
Great.
I could create a 2-level support structure within the crate it's going to be shipped in, and keep it in one piece too, because that's what they did with the studio model. They had it crated in one piece, and they had like slats going across at the height of the saucer to support the saucer, right? So all the weight was evenly distributed throughout the entire model. Yeah, everybody's saying that the audio is much better now. So
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll leave it alone.
yeah, which I mean, this is just like something that we did not plan, and it's just done off the cuff. So some issues are expected, but we got it to work, which is great. So if I used, they were mentioning StreamYards, but if I was using StreamYards, I'd pretty much have to fully use StreamYards for streaming. And I don't have StreamYards, and 2, I like using I like using vMix for my streaming. So
Yeah. Let me try to find something here. Let me pull out my little bridge.
Danny is asking me, do you still have the protective foam the model came shipped in? Can you reuse that? No,
I was thinking the same thing.
I
actually.
don't think we can, because of how it was designed specifically for it to be in parts. Although
Yeah, you would have to kind of slice that up and repack it. But
Yeah.
I mean, it might be doable. I mean, because you could preserve the nacelle pieces, you could preserve some of the cutout pieces for the neck, parts of the body, the saucer for sure, because that's its own thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure how practical that'll be once the whole thing is assembled. Oh, and there's your bridge and conference room.
Ooh.
Looking good. Looking very good. It's going to be interesting to figure out... Oh, I lost him. All right. Well. That's okay. Oh, he's coming back. I think he's coming back. Maybe he's coming back. Potentially coming back. Oh, there he is! Yay!
Yeah, sorry. Apparently I can't zoom in this. If I zoom, it just crashes everything. But anyway, there's my little bridge. I didn't worry so much about like the outskirts here because, I mean, you're not going to be able to see the thing. So.
Yeah.
But that it actually wasn't what I was looking for, what I was trying to find. And I think I just found it. Let me make sure this is the right little baggie. Was I'm gonna be doing the shuttle bay.
Oh, nice.
So
Now,
you gotta have these guys.
Are you using the shuttle bay provided by Helios, or are you scratch building?
I'm doing both. I'm using what they gave me, but I'm gonna kind of cut like the corners out of it
So that-
and do like
And
part of that partial wraparound of the deck.
yeah, I was thinking
Just
that
a little bit.
that if you were actually doing that, because you can't see the back of the shuttle bay, if you put the proper one in, because it's got the column going down the middle, right? So if you were doing that and left that back open, you'd have some natural ventilation in the model kit.
Yep. And actually,
Which is not a bad idea.
It appears you can fit a Type 15 in the bridge. That's
probably,
that's
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I have a whole little fleet of these things that are all prepared. I just haven't actually started the shuttle bay deck yet.
Yeah. For the torpedo launcher, the rear torpedo launcher, which has become a topic of conversation in multiple YouTube videos lately, I am looking to have Keith at Cosmic Scale Models. Keith at Cosmic Scale Models. If I send him the measurements, he will look at creating a replacement piece for me.
Oh, very nice.
Which, if he's able to make the replacement piece for me, he should be able to make it for other people who have the kit as well.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
I am also abandoning my work on the decals, abandoning my work on recreating the artwork, and I will be getting the decals that Keith is making that Lou did the artwork for.
Okay.
Because Keith is able to do it.
Yeah, those are people.
with all the white stuff, right? So with all the white markings and the white backed and
very nice,
and all that kind of stuff. So, Jordan says, "Very nice bridge, Hagen."
Thank you.
Let's see. Todd says they created a wooden. Todd says they created a wooden cradle for the big models with foam padding glued on. Yet, I saw the footage of the Okudas opening up the D model in storage when they were looking at what they could sell off at the Christie's auction, and got a really good look at the shipping crate that they had for that. Danny says, "Look at all those little shuttles." And he says, "Still love the Danube, the runabout. Hate these commercials." I thought I fixed that. He said, "I hate these commercials." I thought I had that fixed.
I got a couple of those. Yeah.
You did? Okay. I'll have to look at that more because I don't want it to be intrusive at all.
Gotcha. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I mean, it didn't. It only. I think I only encountered them when I started the stream, and I figured that was intentional.
Yeah, that would normally happen, and I think that happens even if somebody's not monetized. YouTube just takes any of the revenue. Danny's asking,
okay.
Where are you getting the decals from, Andrew? I'm getting those from Keith at Cosmic Scale Models. So what's happened is Lou Dalmaso, Uncle Lou was originally planning on using the decals provided by Helios. In fact, he was originally planning on using the wallpaper decals provided by Helios. But he's finally decided to paint it, and not use the decals, because the decals are inkjet prints with no white, and there's some rather glaring issues with them. So he decided, and he's got a graphic arts background, so he's decided to redo the artwork, which means I'm going to stop working on the artwork because I'm not a graphic designer. He's going to do a better job on that. He's also received some source material from Rick Sternbach to assist him in that endeavor. And I talked to Keith. He's going to be able to provide Keith is going to be able to provide me the custom registry name and registry as well, because I need that for one of two. The only issue are the lifeboats. Lou has not numbered the lifeboats all individually, which I was doing, and I would like, because I don't want repeated numbers on the lifeboats. Also, they all say Enterprise on them, like they do, and if I've got a different one, so I've already done artwork for the lifeboats, so I might just send that off to Keith, so that he can print me make the decals from my artwork for the lifeboats, but use everything else from Lou's artwork. So,
Whoops, I missed a shuttle.
But Keith at Cosmic Scale Models is going to have those available basically for anybody who wants those decals for this kit. So
that's excellent.
Yeah,
that's good to know. I'm going to hop off camera because my phone is complaining that it's running low.
All right. Well, thank you for the tour, because it's nice to be able to actually see that in real-time video rather than just in the pictures. So it gives me a much better idea of what you're doing there. So, because I might have to steal some of that for
please
for
do.
This.
Yeah, if it works, then go for it. I mean, so far I think what I did here is working. I just need a little more confidence in how I have attached to the plate, and once that's solved, then I think I'm good to go.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you.
I'm going to need to end the stream here soon too. Anyway, so.
Cool.
Okay. All right. See ya.
Thanks again.
So every 5 to 8 minutes, really? That should not be happening. I bet the setting I changed probably reverted back to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that again, because it should not be pestering you guys with commercials. That should not be happening. So, yeah, I will have to look at that, and yeah, there's nothing I can do about it right now. But I will definitely look into that again, because that should not be happening there. All right. Where is my face? Where is my face? All right. Okay. So it is that time. Let me see. Let me just get caught up on the chat here. Ian runs Ad Blocker Plus on his browser, so it blocks most of the ads. Oh, Eric, you're on the YouTube mobile app. Yeah, I think you were experiencing more ads than everybody else was last week. So I'm gonna dig deep a little bit on that this week and see what I can do about that. Danny says when Hagen tunes in next time, he needs to show us how he did that lens for the Bizards on his Enterprise E, asking for a friend. Oh. Ken says, I have not been getting any ads tonight, Andrew. Okay. And Todd says, I can get you lifeboat decals. Or dry transfers. You know what? I have actually... I've never worked with dry transfers. I mean, that would be something that would be really interesting to do. Maybe we'll just need to chat, because I do have artwork, or maybe you have better artwork. I don't know. We just need to make sure that it was scaled properly for the 1000 scale. Oh, and Hagen says, can do Danny on the Bizards. Yeah, that would be awesome. Sounds like Hagen needs to do his own live stream here. Todd says, I'm sure Mike Lane would scale his up for you. Eric says there is much longer duration this stream than last between ads. That's good to know. And Hagen said his phone got warm. Yeah, probably depends on what phone you have and your video settings and stuff like that. And Ian says to Hagen, put some Loctite thread lock fluid on those pipe nuts when you're ready for final commit. Danny says, Andrew, when you can't make it, Hagen and I can take over for you. No worries. I'm sure you probably could. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well. Oh. All right. That is going to be it for me tonight. I got absolutely no progress done on actually building anything or stuff like that, but a lot of working through some of the issues and talking about the issues, and it was great to have Hagen on to see how he approached his arm, because I have never really settled on one approach for this arm, and it's been consistently in process, percolating in my brain as far as what I wanted to do. So we'll have to see if I can incorporate Hagen's approach with what I've already done on getting this plate in here, because I don't want to rip that out, because I've got it perfectly aligned and everything, and I do not want this to budge now. So hopefully we'll be able to get that. The last thing I would ever want is for this thing to fail structurally for any reason. So yeah, definitely want to make sure that this thing is well supported in there. I really like what Wayne over at Motion Picture Miniatures did for his Don Shoko build. He had John from Captain's Dry Dock laser cut acrylic that he's got sandwiched in his 1400 scale. I mean, in his 1000 scale saucer, with some metal armature and stuff too. He's done a really good job on his metal armature for that kit, so you should check out Motion Picture Miniatures, see what he's been able to do there on the Don Shoko kit. The Don Shoko kit for mine is still sitting on the shelf over there, and whenever I get all these projects out the door, I will get back to it, and it'll either be something that I keep for myself or sell it off to somebody who wants it. So everybody's saying good night. Danny says, I'll soon make myself available for your stream, Andrew. No worries, I did not forget. Yeah, we'll just need life is busy, and you're busy. I'm busy. I've got 2 kids. You've got 3 jobs. It's crazy. So I'm trying to get things to align. You know, trying to get the stars aligned there. Get it? Jordan's still here, right? It's a challenge, so we'll figure that out. Oh, and Danny, on a note, I may actually be using the inner lighting kit for the Enterprise Ds. Andy at Inner Light has offered to host the 2 of 2 at his table at Wonderfest. If I'm going to take him up that option, I'd better put his lighting kit in it, so that it benefits him having it at his desk. That doesn't mean that I have to use it on on 1 of 2, but I'll probably certainly use it on 2 of 2. Just so that you've got the heads up there on that. Let's see. Yeah, so that was it was an interesting stream. I didn't get a whole lot of work done, but we had a good time, I think, and it was great having Hagen in there. So thank you everyone for joining me. Hope that you've enjoyed the live stream. If you did, make sure that you hit that like button if you're new to my channel, or you haven't done so yet, why not hit that subscribe button today? You'll make me very happy if you do. But for now, my name is Andrew, and this is Canadian Starships. Have a great... oh, wait. Yeah, no worries, Andrew. Thought you would go that route with that one. Yeah. So I'll have to decide what I want to do for the first one. It might just make sense to keep them both the same. I'm not sure. But I'll get to show off your stuff in the Don Shoko and definitely in the Enterprise E's. I think those 1400 scale Enterprise E's are going to be really popular with your stuff in there. I mean, they look really good even though they're not painted yet. when the lighting gets shown off. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, so if you're new to my channel and haven't done so yet, why not subscribe today? You'll make me very happy if you do. But for now, my name is Andrew, and this is Canadian Starships. Have a great day, or night, or evening, or whatever it happens to be, everyone.